Hello, this is Dad, the coach of Metagross, Magnitogorsk, and it's time for the NPL Tryouts first game. I battled a few days ago, just been very busy with my first battle, so with the recording and stuff, so busy by the way. But yeah, first of all I want to say I'm sorry if my desktop in the back causes some static. I just need it at the beginning. I'm then gonna turn it off because my systems are extremely complicated. Anyway, I'm not gonna talk about that. I'm playing against Butters, and I'm gonna show the teams real quick, which we both have. So here you go. I got, well, you can see my team there. But Butters, his whole roster is Mega Lakazam, Infernape, Crobat, Steelix, Melodic, Alola Tabulu, Electros, Ambipom, Flagon, and Hitmonchan. His Z users are excuse me, Infernape and Electros, and mine are Latios, Scramble, and Spiritomb. And in the screen you can see the monsters that were brought. So my opponent brought Alola Bulu, Infernape, Steelix, which is regular, Hitmonchan, and Mega Lakazam, and I brought a quite specially defensive Celesteela. With it, like, it's a very standard moveset. Heavy Slam, Leech, Protect, Flamethrower. I have a Co-Mind, Dragonium Z, Latios with Draco Meteor and Ice Beam as my coverage. I got particularly defensive Swampert with Rocks, Scald, Toxic, and Protect. I had some cool reasoning for the Protect, I don't remember it anymore. I got AV Spiritomb, that's there mainly to help me check the Mega Lakazam, which I thought was a big threat. I got Mega Manectric, which I thought is gonna be pretty cool. And then I have a Bandit Breloom with Mach Punch, Bullet Seed, Rock Tomb, and Force Palm. That I guess can put in a lot of work. But looking at the matchups here, we do see that there's no Melodic and no Crobat, and also no Electros. All monsters that I'm very pleased to not see. Melodic, of course, can be super annoying. Crobat, even though easily walled, it can still U-turn on stuff like Steela, so it would basically always lose me momentum. So I'm very glad to see no Crobat there. Electros I've seen being used amazingly in hands of a good player, so I have some bad memories about Electros, so I'm glad to see no Electros. And Hitmonchan, kind of the same thing. I almost lost to an offensive agility Hitmonchan, so in the back of my head I'm keeping that option in consideration, even though it's probably there just to spin. And yeah, but other than that, Mach probably gonna be just AV to check the Latios. Bulu probably some kind of Nature's Madness set to try and help to beat down the Steela. Infernape, maybe Scarf. I got a Scarf for that. It means Steelix. I don't really know what that's gonna do. And Mega Zam, of course, a big threat. I basically had 2 months to deal with that in Steela and Spiritomb. But this team looks very good for my Breloom. I just need to basically weaken the Bulu and maybe Zam, and Breloom can just start smashing Mach Punches. Also, Latios matchup looks very good. I don't need much chip on Mach in order to a +1 Drake, devastating Drake to KO. So, but I'm just gonna lead off with my Swampert because if he leads up with Bulu, I have a very safe switching into my Celesteela. And in any other case, I can pretty much just set up my rocks. So he leads up with Ape, and I'm like, I will leave a Grass Knot unless it's like a Life Orb, max special attack Grass Knot, and turns or the expert, but turns out he's Life Orb, but with he goes for U-turn, so no grass coverage. I gotta put my rocks up as in comes the Bull, so I'm just gonna make the safe. No, actually, I'm not. Yeah. This was the turn where I was actually very much expecting him to not go for a grass type move, expecting the switching to Steela, but I just didn't want to go for like a bossy play and in turn 2 and just Toxic in front of a Bull. So I protect once to scout what he does, and then I go into Celesteela as Bull goes for a Swords Dance, but he switches the Bull out against the Steela, which is very nice information. In comes the Steelix, and I just get to go and fire off a Flamethrower, which does easily 2-hit KO, which is very nice to know. However, my opponent gets a chance to get up at the rocks. Steelix was never like a big threat, but it's very nice to know that it's gonna be very easily dealt with my team. So in comes the Infernape, and I believe I do go for Leech Seed, expecting a potential switch since the Flamethrower is gonna be to KO. So I catch the Infernape very nicely, and I'm gonna take this. I'm just gonna go hard into Swampert because no, sorry. I go for a Protect, yeah. I go for a Protect just to chip the Ep down a little bit more. And then I go into Swampert because it's looking like he's a very physical Infernape with Life Orb, which was great news because it means that it's no Scarf. And yeah, I can just get some nice Leech Seed recovery. Like, Leech Seed is honestly like almost like a way of Cleric in Pokemon, very underrated as such. Right here I'm actually, like, Protect is a very obvious play, so I'm rather gonna just go for a Toxic, expecting, or covering a switch rather, as even on Infernape the Toxic will always be nice, and Mach or Steelix aren't likely switchings either way. So going for Toxic there was more of an aggressive play, which turned out beautifully. Toxic in the Bulu is very great for the late game. I bring in my Celesteela as my opponent tries to like predict that, even though Stone Edge doesn't do anything to Steela either way. I'm not sure why he hasn't gone for the Nature's Madness yet, or doesn't he simply have it? Either way, my opponent goes into Mach, I go for Heavy Slam, and something happens that I didn't even realize during the game, but that's very weird. The Mach does reveal the Black Sludge, and that's super weird because that means that he can't really take on Latios at all. So that was very interesting. Anyway, in comes a Hitmonchan as I go for a Leech Seed again on a switch, and Leech Seed is very spammable because the Bulu simply doesn't seem to be able to touch the Steela at all. So his matchup versus Steela seems very bad. Here I just go for a Protect because I want to see like what he does, and also prevent the spin at the same time. So the Hitmonchan is leftovers too, so he has like 4 leftovers mons, which is very interesting. And right here I'm just gonna go hard in my Spiritomb as my opponent makes a prediction, goes for Ice Punch. Unfortunately, it does get a crit, which is kinda annoying because I would very much like to try and keep my Spiritomb healthy for the Alakazam, but it's not that big of a deal since it looks like my Celesteela can actually just wall his entire team. I'm gonna just click Psychic because like I had it in order to have something to hit the Hitmonchan and Infernape with, But in comes the Bulu, so it doesn't do much at all, but at least I get a round of terrain health back. And here I'm just gonna, like, you know, I can just indefinitely switch into my Celesteela. So I do that as my opponent goes for the Horn Leech. As I take an opportunity to drink some water as I narrate. Anyway, in comes the Steelix, which I mean, it covers a heavy slam, but he's immediately pressured by the flamethrower. So, like this Steelix actually, it doesn't even like pressure me at all. So I might even go for a leech hit here if I'm correct. And here we see another like weird questionable prep. No, I go for flamethrower, which was the correct play. Another questionable prep from my opponent as he is no magic card on his Alakazam. Yeah, this is just oops, my phone rang. Yeah, oh yeah, my opponent goes for Encore, which is yeah, that's a reasonable play. As it means that at least Heavy Slam won't like to hit KO. But at the same time, the Alakazam can't really do anything because the way I EV'd my Steela was that I will be able to take 2 Focus Blasts, even if the first one crits or gives a special defense drop from Modest too. So that doesn't seem to be Modest either way. So I'm easily gonna wall even the Mega Alakazam. As we make switches at the same time, I go into my Spiritomb wanting to kinda check the Alakazam in case he has some way to hit the Steela as my opponent goes hard to Hitmonchan, and I'm just gonna hit a Psychic into a Sucker Punch. I feel like Alakazam isn't that big of a threat to me that I want to keep my Spiritomb around, even though it has like the Sucker Punch, which can still hit even without any health. But the Spiritomb goes down. I just bring in my Manectric and revenge the Hitmonchan, get the first kill of the season. I could have gone into Latios and maybe even set up, but I didn't want to risk that. He just goes for Ice Punch and does 80% to my Latios. In comes the Bulu, I Volt Switch out, and I like the fact that the Bulu is getting lower in HP, as it means that Breloom is almost set to sweep. Alakazam, I believe, is already quite down, so it's only the Bulu that needs to be dealt with anymore. We see that Steelix is low, and I hit the Leech on that, so it really covers everything. The Bulu, like, Bulu was easily pressured out. We see the Mach is very low, which is also good for the Latios. So both Latios and Breloom is like looking very good. But now I just get a kill with Celesteela, and things are just in general looking very, very nice. In comes the Infernape, and like I'm taking no risks. I just go hard into the Swampert as he goes for close combat. I'm getting the both lefties and grassy terrain. Here I'm gonna protect, hoping that I would leave after the like I was hoping I would leave the second close combat after the lefties, but I'm not. But it doesn't matter. The Infernape is down to Stealth range, as I can just bring in my Manectric and revenge it. I don't even bother like predicting Steelix because it literally doesn't make any difference. And here I do not calc the Steelix. If Flamethrower kills, which it actually should because I max special attack, whereas Steela without any investment also would have killed with Flamethrower from there. But I was like, I didn't bother to calc it or think about it because Like, Steel I always just switched in to Steelix anyway. And that way Steel gets another kill actually. We're almost guaranteed that Bull won't be able to hit the Steela. Zam doesn't seem like it can do anything. He goes for Psyshock since I have +1 def, which I don't really agree. I would have just gone for Focus Blast crit, which, I mean, again, still really doesn't make any difference. So I'm like expecting the Bull to have maybe Mega Horn for the Latios, but we actually see that it's not the case. It's Synthesis. So that's a very questionable set because it's not really gonna get an opportunity to break through my team ever. I feel like Celesteela is too bulky to be broke down with just Stone Edges. So I can just 1v1 the Bulu and claim the 4th kill for my Steela, which is kind of cool because I was doubting Steela when I drafted it, but it's turned out to be a very fun mon, and I feel like the Latios is a fantastic pairing with it, even though in this game it didn't even hit the field, and neither did Brellum, and it was mostly due to the fact that my opponent just wasn't really able to break through Steela plus Swampert, which, I mean, it was definitely a big mistake by him, but I was very pleased with my prep. I was playing safely but not passively, as I got the Toxic on the Bulu and then a few lead sheets also on switches, so I was able to basically have the momentum for almost the entire game. Anyway, that was the first battle of the NPL season for me. More is to come. I'm pretty sure I was supposed to say something cool, which I just can't remember anymore. But I'll tell it next time. There are more, like, 4 battles still left, so I got time. Anyway, that's all. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if you feel like that. If don't, then I don't even care. Anyway, this is Type, signing out. Bye.